So what is good teaching?
Let's look at our first section, which is about, and see if we can generate some ideas.
If you were to walk into a classroom right now, what might you see or hear there that would convince you that you're in the presence of an expert teacher? That is, what would make you think, if I had a child this age, I'd want them in this room? In writing the framework, I collected together people's ideas into several big domains.
The framework for teaching consists of 4 domains. Domain 1, planning and preparation. Domain 2, the classroom environment. Domain 3, instruction. And Domain 4, professional responsibilities. The framework for teaching is composed of 22 components within these 4 domains. Each component describes an important aspect of teaching, and taken together, the components capture everything important about that domain. Teaching at each component is further defined by 4 levels of performance. These levels of teaching performance are described in rubrics, which provide educators with a roadmap for how they can improve their teaching.
The framework for teaching is used to definitely enhance my lessons. The rubric allows me to pick what will be used to reach the goals for the children, to enhance myself.
Every component in it is grounded in solid research, and it's also been validated. And what that means is that when teachers' performance is assessed on the components of the framework, those whose performance is rated at a high level, their students learn more than the students of teachers who perform at a lower level. That is, high performance in teaching predicts high levels of learning with students. So teachers can be confident that when they are evaluated using it, they are being evaluated on the important aspects of teaching.
It generates both equity and clarity for teacher performance. There is a common understanding of proficient practice and a common understanding that teaching is both a sum of all its parts, as well as a very detailed but very subtle practice that requires a subset of skills that aren't always evident on the surface level.
When you look out your window, what do you see?
Traffic.
Traffic. So if you
Water.
Right in the voice of a 5-year-old, not of a senior looking back on the experience. Now,
The framework for teaching is a generic instrument. There's not a different one for middle school science and high school English and kindergarten, right? It's one framework. The framework for teaching is not a checklist of specific behaviors. It can't be, because the behaviors themselves are different. But the ideas underlying what you observe are the same. The underlying structure is the same, and that's what's important for people to understand.
If you have difficulty, what do you do next?
You would just redo it until you get it right and keep checking yourself.
Good.
As a teacher, I think I can grow from the value of the framework. I think if I'm given a suggestion on an observation, I can grow with that. I can learn from it. We want to be able to be the distinguished teachers that we know we can be.
When we have an evaluation system of teaching, it can't just be about what teachers do, because that's not sufficient. Then the evaluation of teaching has to also understand teachers' thinking about how they decided to do X rather than Y. And therefore, any serious evaluation of teaching practice can't just be about what people do, but it has to be understanding also their reasons for doing it.